The Trump administration is preparing a significant expansion of its travel ban, potentially blocking citizens from more than 30 countries from entering the United States.
You gotta talk up.
She said how many countries? Is there a list?
Well, I guess we gave you 19, right? And it's probably more than that.
Is that what you mean when you mean third world countries, those 19?
No, I don't think they're all third world, but in many cases they are third world. They're not good countries. They're very crime-ridden countries. They're countries that don't do a good job. They're countries that don't register from the standpoint of success. And we, frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem disclosed the plan in an interview with Fox News host Laura Ingraham. She did not specify the countries that would be added, but said President Trump is reviewing the list and evaluating national security concerns.
Too many families across this country have felt pain and been victimized and lost loved ones because of these illegal drivers. Just earlier this month here in Indiana, we saw an illegal alien from Serbia and Montenegro was operating his semi-truck without a valid commercial license. He swerved into oncoming traffic and killed Jeffrey Eberly. In August, Indian illegal alien killed 3 people in a reckless driving highway incident in Florida. And I think most of you remember the news coverage from that, but the devastating impacts of that loss. That CDL had been issued in California by Governor Gavin Newsom. Just last week, another Indian illegal alien killed 3 Americans on a highway in California. He was intoxicated behind the wheel of his truck. Every single time one of these individuals gets behind the truck, on the wheel of a truck, they are in front of a deadly weapon that can kill other Americans as well.
The expansion builds on a travel ban announced in June that barred travel from 12 countries and placed additional restrictions on 7 others. Earlier this week on social media, Noem suggested that additional nations would be included. When asked whether the number would reach 32, she said only that it would be over 30.
With our Department of Justice, agencies, and other individuals throughout the federal government, we will continue to do the work to make sure that these criminals are removed from our communities. I want you to look at these posters that we have up here at the front of the room. One of the individuals, his last name is Munoz. He's from Mexico, and he was brought in and arrested for charges of homicide. Another one is Hernandez Rivieras from El Salvador. The charges against him are human slavery and trafficking of individuals in this country. Garcia's in front of us as well. His last name is Garcia Oliver from Mexico. He's been wanted and charged with sexual assault. And then another individual in front of us on these posters in front of us is Gonzalez Rivas. He's from El Salvador and is wanted for assault. These individuals have been arrested because of these individual law enforcement officers in our community and will be brought to justice and deported from our country, never to return.
The administration's push follows a Thanksgiving week shooting in Washington, D.C., in which 2 National Guard members were shot. Homeland Security Secretary Noem said the administration is seeking more thorough vetting procedures. She argued that the U.S. should restrict entry from countries without stable governments or reliable systems to verify the identity of travelers.
And as the judge said, this individual is in this country for one reason and one reason alone. Because of the disastrous withdrawal from the Biden administration and the failure to vet in any way, shape, or form, this individual and countless others, and this administration has taken the rightful step to stop any further allowance of people with this similar background into the country, and we're thankful for that. And as I said, this investigation remains ongoing, and I think I'll turn it over to General Blanchard of the National Guard now.
Federal agencies have reduced the length of work permits for certain refugee and asylum applicants, meaning they must reapply more frequently and undergo additional vetting.
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman who goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out of our country.
Off of that, in that same post, you mentioned Tim Walz, and you called him what many Americans do find an offensive word, retarded. Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure.
But you don't think
you have a problem with it?
Fine.
You know what? I think think there's something wrong with him. Anybody that would do what he did, anybody that would allow those people into his state and pay billions of dollars out to Somalia. We give billions of dollars to Somalia. It's not even a country because it doesn't function like a country. It's got a name, but it doesn't function like a country. Yeah, there's something wrong with Walls.
Mr. President, you said that you might denaturalize some American citizens. Can you talk about
You mean people that are in here that shouldn't be here?
that became Americans? Are you trying
Well,
to
we'll see.
revoke
I
their
mean, yeah, we
citizenship?
have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized maybe through a Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize absolutely. Dan, do you have a question? Yeah.
What do you mean by reverse migration?
It means get people out that are in our country, get them out of here. I want to get them out. We got a lot of people in our country that shouldn't be here, and they came in through Biden, and he was the worst president in the history of our country. But the single biggest thing he did was allow millions of people into our country that shouldn't be here. Drug dealers, prisons were opened up and allowed to come into our country. You take a look at the people that were allowed to come into our country. We're paying a big price for it, and we will for years to come, including the recent killer of two wonderful National Guards people. And I'll tell you what, that animal should not have been allowed to come into our country. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Have you spoken with Andrew Wolf's family? Can you give us an update on
I have spoken to both families. Well, I mean, I can give you an update. They're devastated. Does that make sense to you?
Of course.
They're devastated.
Can you give us an update on Andrew Wolf's decision?
Well, as you know, the one is no longer with us, and Andrew is fighting for his life. And his parents are unbelievably great people, highly religious people, and they're praying, and they want everybody to pray for Andrew, and he has a chance to make it, but he is, his mother and father, they were so unbelievable. They were so positive. From West Virginia, great state. I spoke with Sarah's parents, too, and the only thing I can say, they were devastated.
Do you plan
They
to
can't even believe it could happen.
It's absolutely devastating, of course, to lose your children. Do you plan to bring the Beckströms to the White House?
Yeah, I do. I've already suggested it. I said, when you're ready, because that's a tough thing, come to the White House. We're going to honor Sarah. And likewise with Andrew, recover or not, we're going to honor